Okay, I'm going to show you real quick how to remove the excess film from your pre-cut window tint pattern. As you can see here, I got the line for the pre-cut pattern where it's been cut. Goes all the way over, all the way up. This particular window is for a front driver's side of a Pontiac Fiero. That line, anything within inside that line is your pre-cut pattern. Anything on the outside of that is excess material that needs to be removed. To help remove that film, I'm going to use a small utility knife like this. A single edge razor blade will probably work just fine, as well as even probably a common house knife would work just fine. But I like to use this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut just outside of the pattern, right about there, going outwards like that. I'm going to do that at each and every corner, going away from the pattern like that. And what those cuts are going to do is they're going to give me relief points where I can tear the excess film off and crumple up and throw it away, so I don't have the entire section of excess material all in one bunch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my cuts at each of the corners, about a 1/16 of an inch or so outside of the pattern. Make sure not to cut into the pattern, because if you do, you will ruin that piece and you'll need to get a new one. So I'm making my cuts now at each corner, just like that. There you can see my cut right here next to the pattern. And what I'm going to begin to do to remove the excess film is I'm going to come up into the pattern a little bit. Using my fingernail, I'm going to scratch it downwards until the excess begins to peel like that. Just like that. I'm going to always peel it away from the pattern, never towards the pattern, always away. And I'm never going to try to remove that pattern, the pre-cut pattern, without first removing all the excess material. Okay, so right here is where I started to peel it away. I'm just going to continue to pull it away from the pattern like this, all the way down. Keep going. And then when I get to my other cut down here, I'm going to put my finger there just to hold the film there. I'm going to get a little snap to pull it off at that cut. Then you can crumple this excess material up and throw it away. And then continue removing the excess film. Again, always away from the main pattern. Here's my other cut up here. I'm going to put my finger there and snap it away. I'm going to do the same thing for down here. Just like that. And then also for the rest of it. Pulling it away from the pre-cut pattern. Just like that. And then you've got your entire pre-cut pattern here with all the excess tint material removed from it. Just like that. But we've got some of this extra clear plastic liner, this stuff, all the way around it. We need to remove that as well. So I'm going to take my knife again, and I'm going to cut about 1/4 of an inch all the way around it so that that excess material is also gone. Just like that. Being very careful not to cut into the pattern because I don't want to ruin it. And now your pre-cut window tint pattern is ready to mount, prep, and install onto the car. That's all there is to it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time on a bit larger of a piece. This is the back glass for the Pontiac Fiero. This one also right up in here has a third brake light cut out. This time, because some of these pieces for the excess material are so long, I don't want them to become unmanageable and possibly stick to the pattern. I want to take those out in sections, so I'm going to make a couple of extra cuts, one about here and one about here, so I can remove one section here, a section here, a section here, and the same thing with up at the top. I'm going to begin by using my knife again, making my cuts in the corners, just like I did on the front window. And 2 cuts at the bottom here, about equally spaced out. And up here where the third brake light is, I'm going to make my cuts at the corners or the tips of those. And I'm going to use my fingernail, just like I did before, to peel away, get it started. And pull the excess material away from the pattern, like that. See how that was one section. Here's another section. And the last section for the bottom along here. Just like that. And on the side. Peel that away. Along the top. Always peeling away from the pattern, never towards it. Just like that. I'm going to come back down here to the bottom side and pull that away. More material up here. Now right here's where the third brake light's at, so I'm going to dig into that. Peel it away there. See how that tore right there? If I were peeling towards the pattern, that would have peeled into the pattern and the pattern would have been ruined. So always, always, always pull away from the pattern. And there we go. We have the back glass exposed. And now to remove the excess clear plastic liner, for 1/4 of an inch or so all the way around it, going down and into the third brake light. Continue cutting. There's that part gone, and along the bottom. There we go. Now that piece is now ready to mount, prep, and install to the car.